Thank you, Living In, for taking us through the doors of those magnificent properties. See, that's the beauty of Gold Coast for Sale. You can inspect 4 properties in Main Beach and 1 in Southport in less than 5 minutes and without traffic.
Remember, if you're selling, your home could be showcased right here next week for under $800. Now, speaking of numbers, if you're trying to decide which figure to put on your property and you need some recent median property prices to help guide you, John Newlands is here from the Gold Coast REIQ office and he can help you. He's joining Todd today for Bricks and Mortar.
Good morning, John. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome, Todd. Great to be here.
Mate, I understand that the December quarter figures have just come out and the news is pretty good.
Yes, they are encouraging. What we found across the city for the December quarter, that the average prices on the Gold Coast had risen by 5.2%, so that definitely is encouraging.
Before we go on, we might just clarify exactly what is a median price.
Well, what the median price is, Todd, it's really the amount of sales that have happened in a particular suburb or an area for that particular period, and then they are averaged, so it actually gives you what they call a median price. So typically what it basically is where the activity has been. So if a median price is around $600,000, it means that most of the activity has been in that $600,000 range.
Okay, so what suburbs, and this is what everybody wants to know, is what suburbs have been the strongest performers? Well,
interesting enough, we've seen quite a lot of growth in the rural suburbs. So Benogan in the rural areas there, we've seen growth of over 20%. Likewise in Mudgeeraba, also healthy increases around the 10%. So we are seeing some strong activity in those rural suburbs.
Any theories about what might be driving that?
I think it's more of a lifestyle driven thing. I think families can, driven to the acreage type lifestyle, more space, more land, and very affordability is also a factor that we're finding is driving them there.
So where do you think the demand's coming from mainly?
I think that what we're seeing this year is that last year that there was a little bit of scepticism in the marketplace with people not as optimistic. I think this year people are seeing that we are going forward. We're coming out of the global financial crisis, and they're sort of seeing where there's opportunities and value for money, and they've actually got the confidence they are buying now. So our markets typically are coming from that sort of thing locally, and then also with the performance of the markets in Sydney and Melbourne, you're seeing strong growth in those areas, so people are looking for opportunities here now on the Gold Coast.
So these December quarter figures are good. What's been the story over the last 2 to 5 years?
Well, the 2 to 5 years, the December quarters are showing a return of confidence because it's the first time probably in the last 18 months where we've actually seen a growth in that median price. So the December quarters are definitely demonstrating that there is more sales activity starting to happen out there. Buyers are returning with confidence, and there's more sales being made, which is reflected in that result.
And what area of the market is the most activity taking place?
Well, Todd, at the moment the median price across the Gold Coast is $512,000, so it does seem to be that mid-range is where the most activity is. But the real estate markets, it starts somewhere and then it usually travels through the rest of the different ranges. So I'm expecting to sort of see that go from the 512 and then start going up into the other price ranges as well.
Well, it's pretty good news. What advice would you have for a seller, and what advice would you have for a buyer?
Well, for a seller, I would say that buying and selling, especially if you're doing it on the same marketplace, it all evens out in the long run. So I would say to sellers that if you realistically price your property, there are buyers out there at the moment, and the chances of getting a sale are better now than they have been for some time. Also for buyers, I think the signals are there that our interstate markets are starting to show very strong growth there. That will translate to our Gold Coast market. So I would say to buyers that if they can find what they're looking for and they feel it's realistically priced, I'd be going for it, because the only way is up from there.
All right, well, Gold Coast real estate looking up. Thank you very much for joining us, John.
Thank you, Todd.
Now, if Burleigh is the area you've got your heart set on, Riol has some property suggestions for you.